barely got enough time to squeeze them in. But what I want to do now is focus on our starting grid this afternoon for Fuso, because that's fascinating. Rick Kelly has the pole position, a stunning time, 1 minute 6.29 in the Jack Daniels Nissan Altima. Then Fabian Coulthard in recovery after the wars he was in the last one. Row 2, Chaz Mostert, Shane Van Gisbergen. The next row involves Craig Lowndes and Michael Caruso. You can sense that Nissan are doing a great job. They've got more pace this weekend. Courtney and Slade. James needs some points and needs to get out of the wars. Pye and Winterbottom next in the queue. Scotty Pye's run in that last one was very clean, very effective. McLaughlin and Moffat side by side. Looking further back, David Reynolds and Jason Bright. Where did all the pace go for David Reynolds after the great performance on Friday? Todd Kelly, Andre Heimgartner next, followed then by Jamie Whincup and Garth Tander. Jamie could not get that car working on the soft tyre in quali. Lee Holdsworth and Nick Percat next in the queue, followed by Will Davison and Tim Blanchard, positions 21 and 22. Further back, 23 and 4, David Wall and Dale Wood. David Wall did a nice job in that last race to also have a nice, clean, trouble-free run. Ash Walsh brings up the rear of the Fuso starting grid. Rusty's back, somewhat breathless, and I've had at least a couple of minutes in recovery inside this air-conditioned commentary box, and man, it is warm out there at the moment. Look at that margin. 56 points is the gap. Mark Winterbottom in fine form. Craig Lowndes just spent too much time touring the paddock out there a moment ago, and looking at temperatures here, and air is now 32, track is 47, so there's a 3-degree variation down in air between race 1 and 2, and a 5-degree variation down in the track temperature between races 1 and 2.
Well, guys, a change of tyre, 2 different races, a very different looking grid, as you've already said, Neil. The biggest noticeable difference there is the guy on pole position. Rick Kelly in the Altima. His last pole position was Sandown 2011 in the wet. I was talking to him earlier, and he is extremely excited about the prospects of where this Nissan team is heading. So it's great to see him on the front row. Fabian Coulthard right next to him. Obviously, what happened in race 1 will be out of his head now. He'll be hoping for a much different result getting into turn 1, as would everybody behind. It was a really entertaining race. Race 13, race 14, I reckon is still going to be an absolute cracker.
A huge part of that is going to be how this tyre works in this temperature on this new track surface. It was interesting because clearly the hard tyre was well matched to the conditions out there before. It turned on an interesting race for us. But now, everything changes, Rusty.
And at what point will it drop away? And who will it drop away first for? And someone who can make it last longer. This is going to be a terrific race. Let us know who you think will win. Set to go. Rick Kelly wants to maximise this brilliant pole position. Coulthard eager to bounce back from the dramas of race 1 with that beautiful new car. We go. Good start by the Nissan. Coulthard seems in that second phase to have the Freightliner entry hooked up. They will drag race down to turn 1. Look at Van Gisbergen squeezed almost against the wall. Coulthard has it. Lock up from Rick. A lock up. Coulthard's gone. Gizzy will take the lead. Someone sneaking through the inside. Is it one of the Falcons? Maybe Moss. No, in fact, it's Lowndes.
Fucking idiots doing that. Unbelievable.
Apologies for the language there, folks. There's a lot of emotion out there at the moment. Lowndes emerges the leader. Coulthard off the road. Rick Kelly all crossed up going into turn 1. Both of them so deeply committed it wasn't able to be managed. And they've gifted Craig Lowndes into the hairpin. Tim Slade, he's in second position, and now a traffic jam in 6.
99 just getting off into the dirt there briefly, that left rear dropping off. David Reynolds running right with James Moffat. Look at this. Mirror to mirror, Bright makes contact.
Now remember, they were together in the last race, and Heimgartner's going to be turned here in front of the pack. He grabs a Red Bull car. There's chaos in Darwin. And to the rear of the field goes the Red Bull car.
It's like
now
a
that is Percat's car with the door plucked open. Lowndes is the leader. So Whincup in the wars. There's Percat with half the side of the car ripped off. What a mess. And Heimgartner with a damaged front right steering arm on that car parked off to the side of the road.
How's that bloke won anything?
Like I said a moment ago, there's
safety car boards
no shortage of emotion. So the safety car, the Lexus RCF safety car, will be deployed again. And it scrambles in front of us. This is Lee Holdsworth. Huge damage on the front of that car.
Go, 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 go.
look at this. This is Percat.
With an open wheeler.
Has the door gone, or is it still hanging on there? Peeled it off like a can opener.
That's the side intrusion, a panel on the side of the car. So there's a little bit of bumper assembly as well. And that's Andre Heimgartner, 20 years of age, Kiwi, out of the car in a punch-up on the racetrack with Jason Bright in that last event. And there's the door peeled open on the Percat mobile, and clearly he'll be in this lap.
Signalling to the boys that he's peeling in. So we're under safety car here once again at Darwin. Let's have a look at this here again. Replay the start.
So Rick got a good jump, and then it was a game of chicken at turn 1. Here it is again from the other angle. And everybody always dives down the inside because they want to either take an opportunity to pass or alternately they're covering. The problem is there's no grip, and lucky Shane Van Gisbergen bailed out of that one, but there's no way that Rick can stop with cold brakes, cold tyres on the dirty side of the road. And then both he and Fabian are gone for all odds out there, and it was a huge tour of the paddock for Fabian. A bit of wheel spin in the shift to second gear, but he had him covered here. And he's trying to ease him across, but he didn't quite get it done. Oh, he actually got tagged. I didn't realise there'd been contact. So that's very important information for us there. He's got the new car blues, hasn't he? Now, this was the aggravation between Will Davison and Andre Heimgartner, which then grabbed Jamie Whincup. Lee Holdsworth just was a victim in that process in car number 18. Here's the super slow-mo, so contact there between Will and Andre. Here's Jamie right behind, nowhere to go for him. And then Nick Percat crunches into the back of Whincup. They're all trying to figure out what Andre's going to do. That's damage on Whincup's car. Rips the door off Nick's car. Lee Holdsworth, nowhere to go. Bam for him. Rick Kelly, who's also trying to thread back into the game, he suddenly found a wall of cars up here at turn 10. Another angle from above. Pretty solid contact, that. Big traffic jam at the back, and then Fabian Coulthard trying to also figure out whether there's an opportunity to grab a couple of guys on the way. And look at the guys in at Red Bull Racing. So straight away the drill is start to prepare to get organised, Murph.
Yeah, guys, I'm with Brad Jones, as you'd imagine. Probably not too wrapped at the moment with what's going on. Fabian Coulthard starts from, the front row and the second row in 2 races, ends up in this situation. It's not a good day.
Well, it's very disappointing. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, I don't feel either time he contributed at all to the first corner. And, Rick just, braked a bit late, and I think Jamie did the same thing. So, it's very, very difficult to watch, but there's not much you can do about it.
Well, he's now on board now. We're just looking at from Rick. Fabian got a really good jump and managed to come across. He was well clear.
Yeah, the crazy part is when you get down to that end of the circuit, you make a mistake as soon as you get on the brakes. You don't actually pay for it until you get down towards the turn-in point. So, for Rick, I'm sure he knew at some point pretty early on, that's why he's had them all smoked up there, that he was going to be in trouble. But it's, when you're the bloke on the outside, you're going to get hit. And it's unfortunately, Fabian's just been the innocent bystander twice. Thanks, man.
Mark Dutton, so far today has been a difficult day for both of your drivers. Race 13, not ideal, and then Jamie being involved in some incidents here.
No, exactly. One at P1 and one at P21, so not ideal. Obviously, Craig's in a good spot, so looking at the positives there. In race 1 on the hard tyres, Jamie had fantastic pace coming back through the field, so hopefully we can have similar pace, if not better, on the softs.
Thanks, Dado.
Thank you.
The outside angle initially hadn't really revealed that it was Rick that got into Fabian down there, despite the fact that I could see he was locked up. I wasn't sure that contact had been made, but clearly that onboard that we had of the Jack Daniels car running into turn 1 there pretty much explained exactly what happened down there. So Fabian had managed to close back down and find his line, which he would have been desperate to do because he knows just how slippery it is off the race line.
Guys, Nick Perkins actually on the spanners. He's just got straight in, starting to take the car apart for the boys. Mate, can opener, that's all I can say.
Yeah, absolute shit for this team. To race against someone like Jamie Whincup, Will Davison, and they pull a move like that on Heimgartner is a joke. And I'm doing this because I just want to go punch them right now for the damage they've done to my car. Like, we're just having a good weekend. We're a small team, punching above our weight, beating 888 in their millions of dollars with their old cars, and he drives like a tool. It was like that in race 1. I'm over it.
Very upset, Nick Percat.
Wow, you heard it there. Drives like a tool. So let's have a look at this. This is the Heimgartner incident he's talking about and the chaos that ensued.
Yeah, well, it's actually Will that gets into Andre Heimgartner and Nick gets into Jamie. So I'm not quite sure whether there was something that predated that we don't understand. Sometimes that can be the case.
Maybe Nick might want to see this replay at some point. We'll see.
Paul Radicic, I'm sure you've had a chance to catch the replays of the incident there with Andre Heimgartner. We just heard from Nick Percat, which you wouldn't have heard, but he was very vocal in blaming Will Davison and Jamie Whincup. What are your thoughts on the incident?
Well, I can only saw what what I'd seen on TV, and Andre was definitely wide. He was trying to get back in, and had nowhere to go, and then slightly touch, and that was the end of it. So yeah, I couldn't see if it was started prior to that, but once again, Andre was a little bit wide. He was out there, nowhere to go, but they should have given each other a bit of racing room.
Disappointing. Andre's had some good speed this weekend.
It's very disappointing, but that's motor racing, and we'll pick up and pick out, have a good qualifying tomorrow and come back tomorrow even stronger.
Thanks, Paul. You've been around for a long time. You know how this business works.
Yeah, I sure do. Yeah, thanks.
Twice a World Cup champion in touring car racing. Great to have him in a mentoring capacity for Super Black Racing and working with a young Andre Heimgartner, who has continued even here, just as he did at Symmons Plains, to show some very, very impressive speed. So if you've just tuned in, we're under safety car here, the Lexus RCF at the front of the field after a variety of incidents that have started. We had lots of skirmishes in race 13. The officials are busy investigating those, and now we've potentially got more to add to that tally for race 14 so far. Craig Lowndes leads the field. Tim Slade, who started this one in the 47 from position number 8, has jumped up to P2, avoiding all that drama. Mostert, last race winner, in 3rd.
Tim got a top 10 result in the last one. He was 7th as we jump on board here with Craig Lowndes off the start. Let's see what his story reveals down here. Gives you a really good idea of all the zigging and zagging that goes on into turn 1 at the race start. So you've got to be very, very aware of what's going on around. So Lowndes immediately, when he saw that there was a change in the rhythm at turn 1, immediately slots it down a gear and gets ready to punch it out the other side.
Whoa.
So for Rick Kelly, then he had big drama down at turn 1 and then more drama at turn 10. And that was just in the first 60 seconds of the race.
I will inform you when safety cars in pit lane and green flags, unless you would like me not to do so for the green flag.
So getting ready.
They're waiting for the call to go green on race management chain.
We'll give you green flags.
And once they get past the apex of the final corner, they can overlap if we get the green call.
Safety car in pit lane, green flags.
There's the cue. So they can overlap at that point. They can't pass before the control line. This is tidier than what we saw in the previous race. Good margin for Lowndes, played the game well. And Slade building on that previously strong result earlier today. And he needs it. He's had a difficult season.
Caruso holds out Shane Van Gisbergen for 5th. There's a bit of a touch there with Scott Pye and one of the Holden Racing Team entries, Garth Tander, as they swing through one. Now working up toward turn 5. Don't leave us, whatever you do. Lowndes fans, we've got 15 and a bit laps to go in this one, but he could, maybe, as we look here.
Pit lane drive-through penalty for Rick Kelly for the contact with Fabian Coulthard down there at turn 1. What an awful outcome after a brilliant pole position for Rick Kelly. So he locked it up down there, couldn't control it, tags Fabian, and now pays an even greater price.
Just to wrap that point before, Lowndes looking for win number 100 in the championship. Will he chalk it up here at Hidden Valley? Stay with us. In behind him, Tim Slade out to prove a point in the Super Cheap Auto Racer. He looks like he's got off the final turn pretty well. Lots of dust and dirt there. Back to the front. Look at Mostert in the background. Caruso defending Pye as well.
Michael want to be careful running that far to the left and then coming back to the right again. He was given a bad sportsmanship flag, as I recall, in the previous race, and it's pretty early in the game. You might get away with it towards the end of the race. You've got to be a little bit careful if you run too defensive early, especially when it gets caught on TV.
Shot of the championship leader there a moment ago. Winterbottom 8th. Here's Pye. Big dive down the inside at 5 and gets it done. He's been pressuring Caruso. Winterbottom on the outside there now. You're riding with Garth Tander, car 2.
Good move by Caruso. He recognised that he was a shot duck when he got to 5, so he came out of it to slot back in rather than hang wide in the grey, although now he's in trouble at turn 7, so whatever happened on the exit of the hairpin with he and Frosty, it hasn't worked out well. And here's a move, Van Gisbergen down the inside of Courtney at the final corner. That brings Shane up to position number 4.
Mate, eyes forward. Car is good. Car is good.
Now, James's car wasn't good when the tyres were cool in the previous race, the hard tyre. He's having another look down the inside. Here's more of that action into turn 1 with Caruso and Bright this time. Dust coming up from the back of their cars as Michael drives down the inside. Reynolds in the game. We're riding with him. Always worry when there's a little overlap between cars through these high-speed S's. It's very easy for things to go wrong there. Up the inside, Reynolds, Caruso. There may have been just a little bit of contact. They're going to try the 3 game wide up here. Big invitation for Caruso down the inside. David tries to stay high. He's got the ideal line for 7. Puts Michael in a very, very awkward spot through the right-hander. He's going to try and stay there. That's a brave manoeuvre. It's an invitation for Jason Bright too. Where does this end? Reynolds prevails. Bright, Caruso. Good motor racing. Knife edge.
Just the way we like it. So Lowndes still leading the way from Slade. The gap is 0.6 between those guys. Fastest lap of the race now for Chaz Mostert, a 1:07.30. He's 3rd from Van Gisbergen, who was pretty handy in the middle, final sector of this race. So the Darrelly entry is fast, and Caruso still defensive. He's dropped some spots, now trying to hold off Will Davison and Ash Walsh at turn 1.
Davison tucked in behind Caruso here. Just in the background. Oh, big contact between Dale Wood and David Wall, and they're off at 5 together. And we've got Blanchard in the pit lane as well. That's confusing to see them coming back on at that angle, isn't it?
Shortcut. How much damage is there to the 34 and the 21? Are they okay to continue? This will clear up what happened earlier when Neil was talking about Caruso dropping some spots. So Pye gets around Mark Winterbottom, and then we go to this particular replay here.
That's what I spoke about before in the high-speed S's in the run to 5. It's really easy to lock wheels together, particularly when you're moving those front wheels around, steering through. Meantime, at the other end of the circuit, this has only just happened, and now we've got a bit of action between the Erebus teammates. So Ash Walsh and Will Davison. Oh, what is it? Within teams at the moment, so that's a picture that Ryan Madison is not going to enjoy in that garage. So Ash Walsh gets into the side of Will Davison, and around goes Will. Friendly fire. Bent snout for Fabian Coulthard, so it's well and truly been christened, this car, this weekend. Came into the event pristine, in showroom condition. It's got a whack in race 13 and subsequent whacks in this race, so hardly a straight panel on it now. And Tim Blanchard rejoins the race. He's been in for a while, and there's Dale Wood. Pretty significant damage on the front of that car, and they're obviously just having a very good look at the steering arms on that car as well. Meantime, Lowndes has got 1.2 seconds over Tim Slade. Chaz Mostert is in 3rd place. Thinking about it from a championship standpoint, this is going to give Craig Lowndes a boost. The fellow that he's battling in the title fight at the moment is Winterbottom, who's 7th. Not seeing huge speed from the soft tyre at the moment, which goes to the question that we raised pre-race, that in terms of tyre suitability on this track surface and because of the extreme temperature, it's probably hurting the soft tyre a little bit at the moment. So they're going to have to nurse it from probably about now. And that was Blanchard to the right there. So he only just left the pit lane a moment ago in the blue and white Quill Drive car. So he's parked up there for some reason. He's got another issue. So this is the battle between Mostert and Slade on the run down towards turn 14. And Tim looks like he's just starting to be vulnerable now to the Pepsi Max entry. Dale Wood, meantime, has rejoined the race. So we've got all runners at the moment, with the exception of Nick Percat, who was well and truly hot under the collar when we spoke to him earlier. Wow, that car at Mostert's was on the limiter for an extremely long period of time on this soft tyre. See, Tim can't quite tuck it down here. He didn't make the first apex. You can get away with that down at turn 1. You can just run around the wide stuff. Dale Wood gives them some space. But he's looking vulnerable.
To your point about whether he's struggling, the gap to Lowndes is now out to 1.9 seconds. So Mostert seems eager to get this done. Quickest man in the race is Van Gisbergen right behind them, a 1:07.17 last time around.
So while Gizzy was the fastest out there, Tim Slade was the 15th fastest on the last lap, which underscores what I was talking about a moment ago, that it looks like he might be losing a bit of pace. And Lowndes has taken advantage of that. It's 2.3 seconds for him now. So while Tim just corks them up a little bit here at the moment, this is going to allow Craig to build a margin and then just flatten it off and manage it from there. And you can see it from that high view off the final turn, how much ground that actually is at the moment. So Van Gisbergen's going on with these very quick sector splits at the moment. He's only 3 seconds off the lead, 3.1 seconds off the lead. Clearly looked after the tyres pretty well so far.
8 laps to go. Do you play numbers? Birthday for Craig Lowndes tomorrow. It's the 888th race of this championship today. He drives for the Red Bull 888 team, and he's trying, if he can, to chalk up race win number 100 in this sport. It would be a huge milestone if Craig Lowndes can do it, and he leads by 2.4 seconds over this group right here. Slade, Mostert and Van Gisbergen. What a shame, as Neil said before, for the pole sitter, Rick Kelly. A brilliant performance, record-breaking lap, a 1:06.2 in qualifying for race 14 earlier today. Where is he now? The pole sitter down in 21st place.
52.8 seconds from the lead of the car race. And that'll really be eating at him, because they're rare opportunities where you can capitalise in the very tough game of qualifying at the moment. And when things go wrong in the first seconds of the race, it's particularly hard to swallow.
Scott Sinclair here in the Nissan Motorsport Garage. These are the highs and lows of motorsport.
Absolutely, yeah. The first race we were on top of the world, but now pretty disappointing. But you know, Rick put his hand up. That's the way it goes. All 4 of the guys did an awesome job in the first race to stay out of trouble. Now we've found a little bit of trouble in this one, but we're still going all right. So we've probably exceeded expectations so far this weekend, so we're happy with that, but probably haven't capitalised on an opportunity today in this race.
You take the positives out of it and the cars are quick.
Absolutely, yeah, you know, and the guys are doing a fantastic job. So, you know, like I say, the first race today was fantastic for us, all cars in the top 10, so we'll see if we can do that again tomorrow.
Thanks, Scott.
Righto, ta.
Best of their guys at the moment, Todd Kelly, 9th in car 7 as we ride with Scott Pye. What a tremendous effort as well for DJR Team Penske. He too has stayed out of some of the skirmishes, the trouble that's unfolded around him. He is in 6th place at the moment and on course for another really good result for these guys. Tim Cindric to the right of his screen, the legend up the back, Dick Johnson. Great to see him back at the circuit as well, and his son Stephen, who's been doing some commentary with us so far this weekend while also racing in the Touring Car Masters.
It's interesting that Tim Slade, in the management of this battle here, has stabilised his pace relative to those around him as well. So he perhaps made a little tweak inside the car to either brake bars or the anti-roll bars. It just looks like he's a little less stressed than he was only a couple of minutes ago. But there is a pretty aggressive pack behind. On board here with Shane Van Gisbergen at turn 5 in the Sticks entry, Darryl Lee Chocolates, Tander and Todd Kelly, turn 5. These fellas are arguing over 8th and 9th, and Scott McLaughlin is right here. Looking, oh gee, he chopped and changed. That made the car very unstable under brakes as he was trying to figure out whether he could fox Todd Kelly into a little mistake, and David Reynolds is ready to have a little go here as well if the opportunity presents.
David's last lap was in the order of 0.3 of a second faster than these guys, so he's on the move, as you rightly point out. Look at the dust over that 55 entry. Let's see what he can do here off the final turn, chasing McLaughlin.
David got the power in very early, but the car just slid a little bit late in the turn there in 55, the green car. He was looking to try and maximise the corner exit speed as Mostert applies pressure on Slade. So he's back with him again. This time he's actually Morse coding the rib bumper bar just to upset him. Not enough to cop a penalty, but enough just to make him very aware that he's under pressure. He'd be looking for an opportunity to pass. He'd think he's just found it. And Slade tucks back in, covers. In fact, he might round him up when they get back out the other side, and he has. Now, what'll happen here? Van Gisbergen's out there in the grey. This is awkward. He's got to try and stay there without being squeezed off the road. He didn't really get racing room then. Very tight. He actually had to fan out of it. So Slade again hangs on from Mostert, then Van Gisbergen, then Tander, then Pye. Oh, and off the road goes Van Gisbergen. And he drops spots, and now there's rubbish all over those tyres. You'll lose another one to Frosty most likely, because corner exit speed is likely to be down. Frosty looks pretty relaxed about the job. Surprised that Gizzy's hung on here. Given that the tyres would be absolutely filthy, covered in dirt and grass, he's actually managed to hold his ground at the bottom end of the straight.
I was going to say, in that final sector, Pye is able to hang and to keep that pressure on Courtney, but that HRT car has got some straight line speed. He gets a car length or two by the end of the front straight.
This battle pack here has got trouble written all over it. It just looks like something's brewing. So you've got Slade, followed by Mostert, followed by Courtney, followed by Pye, Van Gisbergen and Winterbottom. Then a fairly decent margin back to Garth Tander, Scotty McLaughlin, David Reynolds. That's the 10. Just outside, it's James Moffat and Todd Kelly, Jason Bright, Michael Caruso. Maybe in Coulthard, then Jamie Whincup, David Wall, Lee Holdsworth. So this narrows up that margin as now Scott has another crack on James Courtney. That was narrow on exit. That no one's giving the other guy particularly large amounts of space at the moment, and that will probably end up in some sort of moment.
Gets it done. 4th place now for the DJR Team Penske driver. A little wide for Winterbottom at 1. Look how sideways the 17 is.
Shane's going to have a look at James Courtney down here. James is onto it and covers, but maybe not enough because Shane's fired it down the inside. Can he turn it? Winterbottom will be a beneficiary here, but he also ends up on the high line at 6. That's a very awkward place to be. Actually, he jumps back into the train. Probably a good decision. I'm sweating.
Less than 3 to go. Fantastic battle, this one.
Lowndes has got 5.2 seconds. Big chance he's going to bag this.
What a story.
Not a bad birthday present for tomorrow. Real hallmark of Craig Lowndes' 2015 season has been this new partnership with Grant McPherson and his massive improvement in his qualifying performance. He's sitting in terms of an average position of 3 at the moment. There's Roland Daney's boss, averaging qualifying position 6.4. Head-to-head, this is coming into the race meeting, doesn't include the qualifying this weekend. Head-to-head, it was 5 and 12, Craig versus Jamie. So where Jamie had him really covered last year, that's not the case this year. So he's really lifted his game in quali. That's equaling a better racing outcome, and he's clearly happy with the way the car's being set up for him. And look at him making air there at the moment.
He's been able to clear these guys, and Van Gisbergen, the way he's driving so aggressively, he's trying to get a gap on Courtney too, but it hasn't necessarily worked at present. Again, Winterbottom playing it smart, thinking of the championship lead at the moment. It was 56 points coming into this race. If Lowndes wins it, it will trim it up slightly, but Frosty will still stay at the top of the ladder. Back to our race leader, 4.9 seconds.
Okay, Jimmy, I'm going to remember this day forever. You guys can come for a roll with me. Do a lap with me. Because I am surely going to remember this day. Thank you very much.
just soak this up. This is a special moment in the history of Australian motorsport. Turns 41 tomorrow. Came into the weekend the peak man in terms of podiums. Number 141, sitting on 99 career victories. Came into the weekend with 557 races to his credit. He's absolutely battling for the championship. He's an evergreen. One of Australia's most popular characters. Look at the crowd. It's a remarkable performance, and congratulations to Craig Lowndes on a spectacular innings.
Crowd very appreciative here. It is a special day in Australian motorsport. The 888th championship race is also the 100th championship race win for Craig Lowndes. What a superstar. He said on the radio, this will be a day he will remember forever. Come with me, guys. Red Bull Racing Australia. Enjoy that final lap. He has done it. Race win number 100. First guy to ever achieve it.
After a century, you can go nuts on it, mate. God, I love you.
You can go nuts on those tyres, says Shippy. Enjoy it. Celebrate the moment. 100th race win. Fans here are as delighted as he is. What an unbelievable career. He's done some amazing things over time, Neil, hasn't he? Since the early days, the brilliant debut with the Holden racing team. He had success with Ford and now back with Holden once again with the 888 team. It's the 888th race, can you believe it? His car adorns that number. It's the name of the organisation that runs that race team. Very, very cool. If you believe in numbers, this was the day to do it.
Big moment in our sport. 3-time series champion, 5-time Bathurst winner.
Okay, mate. Yeah, when you get here, I've got a special little board down there in the pit lane for you, mate.
And he will be saluted by the pit lane.
Look at them coming out, the constituents, the rivals, teams supporting him here. You've been a teammate to him. I've known you for some time. You've got a little tear in your eye. You're a bit emotional.
Hey, just call me 3%, mate. You did 97 without me. Don't worry about me. Enjoy it.
Grant McPherson. Well, it's a very special moment. Really pleased for him. You know, he's worked very, very hard. He's had a stupendous career. A likeable and popular character. Thoroughly deserves it.
Congratulations, Craig Lowndes. 100 V8 supercar victories.
Yeah, look, it's quite incredible. It's we've been close a number of times in the last couple of rounds, but you know, this one's obviously very special for me. It's something that you know, thankfully to Slady sort of held up the traffic there a little bit, let me get a gap, and then I could really manage the car. But credit to these guys. It's been a fantastic career. It's been obviously amazing to obviously work with these guys for such a long time. We had a bad run in race 1. We didn't think it was going to happen today, but of course all the stars aligned. It was 888 race for V8 Supercars. Our car number's 888, sorry. It's an amazing feeling.
You've got tears in your eyes. Neil Crompton in my ears. He can't speak. He's very emotional. Look up on the balcony there at all the people. Every single person in pit lane is behind here. How much does this moment mean to you? Oh, look,
we were talking about it for such a long time, and you never know how you're going to feel when it happens, but now it's finally happened. I'm glad to get the monkey off my back, to be honest, but look, it's a credit to everyone in Red Bull. Like, it is sensational. The guys have fought really hard after this morning, and, you know, we thought we were in with a chance with a soft tyre. We didn't know, but of course with that altercation at turn 1, it opened up the doors. It really, for me, it was just amazing. But as I said, I can't thank the guys enough for all the effort.
The first one came in 1996 at Eastern Creek. It's been an amazing run for you.
Oh, look, thanks. It's been fantastic. And all the, as you said, all the support around, you know, around the country, around the world has been amazing. And to finally have it here 18 years after we first began. I won the first one. I don't know if I'll be around for the last one, but look, it's been fantastic.
V8 Supercars Chief Executive Officer James Alberton has got a special gift for you here.
Well, great, congratulations. You're an absolute legend of the sport. 100 wins is just truly astonishing, and well done, mate. Very well deserved, and happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Can I use this?
Better use your...
Thank you.
Craig will let you continue celebrations with the team and enjoy the podium and the champagne.
I will, thank you.
We'll move on here. Tim Slade. Tim Slade, fantastic to see you on the podium and in the U-Bet victory lane. It's been a tough run lately for yourself and the Super Cheap Auto team.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's an awesome feeling to be up here and back on the podium. You know, I'm super stoked for all the guys in the team as a whole, and then all my guys, and then, you know, really happy for Super Cheap Auto as well. Yeah, it's been a frustrating start to the year. You know, we've had, you know, in general, pretty good speed, but we've just had silly little things go wrong, and, you know, we haven't really got the results that we have deserved. But, yeah, I mean, to be honest, yesterday, last night, this morning, I thought we were nowhere. But, yeah, the guys have done an awesome job on tuning the car up, and, yeah, it's an awesome feeling, like I said, to be back up here again.
Congratulations, enjoy it. And finally, Chaz Mostert, another podium. Your form continues to get strong.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't quite get a good start as I did in the first time, but yeah, you know, it was good to see Timmy and Craig come up and have a battle, and it's a good battle with Timmy in that race. So we've got some promising data going in tomorrow. Obviously, it's going to be a majority soft tyre race, I presume. So yeah, we've got a little bit of work to do, but overall, I think we've got a pretty pacey car. It just comes down to qualifying, which hopefully we can do all right in again.
Enjoy the podium and the champagne. I have a feeling it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, thanks very much. Congratulations to Craig. Unbelievable. 100 race wins is a stat that no one can probably do. So awesome.
Fabian Coulthard, I don't know if anyone would have believed that could be possible 2 races in a row, but you really haven't done too much wrong other than being, you know, too fast.
Yeah, well, I was ahead both times, and I've just been the innocent bystander, but, you know, I'm speechless. I don't know what to say.
I mean, obviously Rick got a bad start and maybe just made that little mistake, got a little bit loose, and that was the end of that, pretty much down the end of the straight. I mean, it's a long braking area. You're getting some serious speed from the start, but there's no excuses.
No, exactly. I could see the smoke in my mirror from his car, so I could clearly tell that it was a bit deep and I was going to get collected at some point. But, you know, the penalties, you know, sometimes are fair, sometimes not so fair, and, you know, he was running nowhere and gets a drive-through. I feel, you know, he got off it pretty lightly.
Okay, mate, good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you. Cheers.
So Lowndes becomes the first driver to 100 race wins in the history of the Australian Touring Car Championship, or V8 Supercars. And those wins, 3/4 of them in Holdens and 25, 1/4 of them in Fords. What an achievement by Lowndes. And that result for Tim Slade, second here today, that equals his career best result. 5th time he's finished second, and more good points for Chaz Mostert here. Podium is good to go. What a U-Bet victory lane it's been.
It's time for the race 14 podium here at the Sky City Triple Crown Darwin. In first place for Red Bull Racing Australia, Craig Lowndes. In second place for Super Cheap Auto Racing, Tim Slade. In third place for the Pepsi Max crew, Chaz Mostert. Representing the winning team for Red Bull Racing Australia, Roland Dane. The third place trophy comes from Alistair Feehan, chairman of the Northern Territory Major Events Company. The second place trophy comes from Callum Mallett, acting general manager, Sky City Darwin. With the trophy for the winning team, it's Natasha Griggs MP, member for Solomon. And with the first place trophy, Honourable Adam Giles, MLA, Chief Minister of the Northern Territory. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2015 V8 Supercars Sky City Triple Crown Darwin Race 14 winners.
It's an early 41st birthday present for Craig Lowndes. His birthday is tomorrow. Roland Dane gets coated in champagne. Championship standings close up a little, 29 points.
It's on. Oh, Roland, seriously. Now he's sorted. He's kind of ruined our point score there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
The bottom line is it's tightened up, folks. But this is the big story. Craig Lowndes, Roland Dane. He's been with Roland for a long period of time, and that's a special moment, even witnessing that. It means a lot to Roland. I know it meant a lot to Craig. He's been waiting for this breakthrough, and he's finally done it. Awesome job. Wow, it was another exciting race. Let's have a look at the highlights. Tim Slade, there he goes down the outside, blazing, and had a very, very good motor race. Started out from 8th position, but look at this. It all went sour for Rick Kelly down here when he got crossed up. I wasn't 100% sure that there'd been contact until I saw this shot, and that confirmed it for us. So a tag in the left rear corner for Fabian Coulthard. Off Fab goes, and to the rear of the queue for Rico. It was on here with Jason Bright and Andre Heimgartner again, as it was in race number 13. Then Andre, Will Davison, Jamie Whincup, Nick Percat. Wow. Lee Holdsworth, then Rick Kelly, who only seconds earlier had been off down at turn 1, and he's getting a crunch from behind by Dale Wood in the GB car. Plucked the door off Nick Percat's car, and he was very angry. Not sure whether he fully understood the incident. Restart, and away they went. Wheel-to-wheel contact with Dale Wood and David Wall at turn 5, and then they toured the paddock and rejoined on the other side, and then there was friendly fire contact between 9 and 4. Will Davison and Ash Walsh at the final corner. That'll make for an interesting discussion after proceedings this evening. This was a great pressure exchange between Tim Slade and Chaz Mostert. Chaz had the big dive down the inside and the narrow line where it was also pretty dirty. Couldn't manage the speed though. Tim got back at him. All of a sudden, just a disconnect with the road for Shane Van Gisbergen, and he ran wide. And all this was just allowing Craig Lowndes to create the cushion that he needed to be able to back out of it. We didn't see super speeds out of the soft tyre, so the tyre was a bit stressed. The crowd loved it. Popular victory. 100th time that Craig Lowndes has won a V8 Supercar Championship race. That's a special moment.